Why are so many young people in Vietnam suddenly starting YouTube channels? It's not about becoming famous, and it's not about politics. It's about ordinary people searching for a more secure future in a world that's changing faster than ever. Hi, I'm Wee, 31 years old, and I'm currently starting over. Recently, I watched a video analyzing why more and more Chinese people are starting YouTube. Initially, I thought it was just a story from another country. But after watching it, I realized many things in it are also happening in Vietnam. This video isn't about politics or debating right and wrong. It's a story about ordinary people. People who are under pressure from life, work, and income, and then decide to try YouTube as a new opportunity to change their future. I think if you're currently working, looking for a job, or struggling to find a new direction like me, this video might resonate with you. In recent years, the economy has slowed down. Many businesses have cut staff, jobs have become scarcer, and salaries in many industries haven't kept pace with the cost of living. For many young people, even with hard work, it's difficult to save or build a stable life. Rent, food, transportation, and other expenses keep them constantly on edge. And I think this isn't just happening in China. In Vietnam, I've also seen many people share that finding a good job is becoming increasingly difficult. Some have been unemployed for months, some have to work overtime, and some have even switched to online sales or ride-hailing to supplement their income. As financial pressure mounts, many people begin to wonder, is there another way? And that's where YouTube comes in as an opportunity. It's not that everyone dreams of becoming famous, but rather that they hope it might be a new source of income, or at least a gateway to a better life. The second reason is that YouTube is no longer seen as a platform exclusively for celebrities. More and more people are seeing it as a side hustle, or at least an opportunity to generate extra income. Interestingly, most of them didn't start with the goal of becoming full-time YouTubers. They still work their regular jobs, but dedicate their evenings or weekends to filming, editing, and uploading videos to their channels. They understand that there won't be immediate results, but with persistence, YouTube can provide an additional source of income, even if it's just a few tens or hundreds of dollars a month. For many, that amount is enough to alleviate financial pressure on their families. The difference with YouTube is that you don't just create content for your local audience. A video can be watched by viewers in the US, Europe, Japan, or anywhere in the world. This means the opportunities are much broader. Perhaps that's why more and more people are deciding to give it a try. Not because they're certain to succeed, but because they feel that if they don't start, they'll never know how far they can go. International audiences are very curious about life in Vietnam. They don't just want to see news reports or online debates. What they're really interested in is the lives of ordinary people. How a morning begins. What dishes are served at a family meal. How people go to the market, go to work, or spend their weekends. It is these very ordinary things that fascinate millions of people in other countries. And I think this is also true for Vietnam. For us, the sight of a street vendor, a sidewalk cafe, or a morning market might be very familiar. But for someone living in Europe or North America, these are very new images. They want to understand what life in Vietnam is really like, not just through movies or news. That's also why many channels that simply film daily life, walking down the street, eating a simple meal, or capturing very ordinary moments, still attract hundreds of thousands, even millions of views. Sometimes, the most appealing thing on YouTube isn't the elaborately produced content, but the real lives of ordinary people. The next reason is the development of AI. A few years ago, creating YouTube content for an international audience was no easy. you had to know English, translate subtitles yourself, or hire voiceover artists. This was very time-consuming and expensive. But now things are different. With just a few AI tools, you can translate into multiple languages, create subtitles, and even voiceover videos. This allows those who aren't proficient in foreign languages to reach audiences worldwide. AI has significantly narrowed the gap between an average person and a professional content creator. Of course, AI cannot replace creativity or the real experiences of each individual. But it saves us time, so we can focus on what matters most, creating content that viewers actually want to see. Perhaps that's why more and more people are deciding to start, because the barrier to entry for YouTube today is much lower than it was a few years ago. One thing I find very thought-provoking is the contrast between two worlds. On one side, AI is developing at a breakneck pace. Robots are becoming increasingly intelligent, and technology can replace humans in many tasks in seconds. But on the other side, many people still have to do strenuous work in factories, construction sites, or other manual labor jobs to make a living. This makes many people start to worry. If AI continues to develop, will their jobs still exist in 5 or 10 years? This worry is what makes many people unwilling to rely on a single source of income. YouTube is like a safety net. Initially, you might not earn anything, but with persistent effort over many years, it can become a supplemental source of income. The important thing isn't just the amount of money earned, but the feeling of creating an alternative for yourself. If one day their current job becomes difficult, they still have a foundation they've built beforehand. I think this is also why many people, including myself, decided to start YouTube. Not because they thought they would become famous overnight, but because they wanted to prepare for the future. In a world that changes so rapidly, perhaps the safest thing isn't a fixed job, but the ability to create value and opportunities for yourself. The final reason, and perhaps the most genuine one, is a fear of giving up. Many people don't do YouTube out of passion. They also don't think they'll become famous. They're simply afraid that if they don't start today, don't learn a new skill, don't create an opportunity for themselves, then in a few years, their lives will remain the same, or even more difficult. I think this feeling isn't unique to China. Many Vietnamese people are experiencing something similar. Maybe you have a stable job, but you're still worried about the future. Maybe you're unemployed and don't know where to go. Or, like me, trying to build a YouTube channel from scratch, unsure whether it will succeed or fail. But one thing I believe is, if you don't start, there will definitely be no results. Perhaps that's why more and more people are deciding to pick up a camera, share their lives, and try their hand at the world of YouTube. Not because they're certain to succeed, but because they don't want to regret it later and look back and ask, if only I had started sooner. If you're also on a journey to find a new opportunity, share your story in the comments. There's one thing I've realized after everything I've just told you. No one grows up dreaming of becoming a YouTuber. People start YouTube simply because life pushes them there. Because a job no longer provides enough to live on. Because of an uncertain future. Because sometimes people just want to prove to themselves that they can still try something new. I'm 31 years old. Returning to Vietnam, hoping life would be alright. I wondered if I was wasting my time. But then I thought, if not now, then when? If not me, then who will live my life for me? So I chose to start. Not because I'm sure I'll succeed, but because I don't want to look back and wonder if only I had tried back then. If you're also at a crossroads and life isn't sure where to go, unsure where to begin, then I want you to know you're not alone. Many people, right now, are quietly starting over, just like me. If you'd like, please leave a comment. Tell me where you are on your journey. I'll read it. And if this story resonates with you, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. Thank you for staying until the very end of this video. See you again soon.